Committee of Adjustment will begin at 2 p.m.
Ready?
Just let the plant sleep.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Committee of Adjustments. We're going to start things off here. My name is Joseph Greco. I'm the chair of the committee. To my right is Mr. Anthony Rossi. Also to my right is Mr. Frank Bruni. To my left, we have Ms. Melinda McGregor, and to my left, we have Mr. Wayne Greco. This is Michelle Kelly, the secretary treasurer of the committee. Michelle, if you'd like to start us off with our land acknowledgement and administrative items.
I acknowledge with respect that we are in the Robinson Huron Treaty Territory, that the land on which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and known as Bawating. Bawating is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. Mr. Chair, I'd like to declare that we have a quorum present.
You.
I would like to get a motion for approval of the minutes of January 21st, or any amendments that need to be made.
Sure. First by Mr. Rossi, seconded by Wayne Greco. All in favor? Motion is carried.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I've been advised of two declarations. Member Wayne Greco has disclosed an indirect pecuniary interest in application A225, advising that he is on the board. He's a board member of the Huron Superior Catholic School Board, and he will vacate the chambers when we consider that application. And as you know, Mr. Chair, you've declared an interest in application B226, ARC Developments, 400 Second Line West, as an abutting neighbor, owner of property that is abutting in the neighborhood. So, Mr. Chair, I've asked Mr. Rossi to take over the chair seat when you vacate the chambers. I've had no notice of motion to withdraw or defer, although we are hearing two deferred applications today. And the first one is application A126, civic number 597 Douglas Street. Sault Ste. Marie Housing Corporation and Curtis Birkenbosch is here with several representatives or agents on the application, including the Sault Ste. Marie Housing Corporation's CAO. Sault Ste. Marie Housing Corporation is the owner of Lot 212 and part of Lots 213, Registered Plan 6541, further described as Part 2, 1R14049, former township of Cora, identified as civic number 597 Douglas Street. It is located on the southwest corner of Douglas Street and Wilding Avenue. It is designated residential in the official plan and is zoned R3 low-density residential. The following variances are requested specifically from Section 9.7.2 of Zoning Bylaw 2005-150, which requires a lot frontage of 18 meters. The applicant seeks to reduce the lot frontage to 16.1 meters. It also requires an exterior side yard of 4.5 meters. The applicant seeks to reduce the exterior side yard to 1.0 meters for the proposed fourplex structure, together with two abutting parking spaces only. Purpose is to facilitate the proposed construction of a two-story, four-unit residential structure designed in such a manner as to fit the residential character of the neighborhood. The proposed side yard setback abutting Wilding Avenue is similar to the established setback of the church directly across the road. Locating two parking spaces as proposed reduces the amount of driveway that will have to be paved and will permit the stormwater retention design to be maintained. As part of the application review, this proposal was circulated to the following internal departments and external agencies for their review. Building Division had no objections. Conservation Authority had no concerns. It'll require a permit and a site plan review by the Conservation Authority. Engineering and Construction had no concerns. Fire Services and Legal Department had no comments. Planning Division had no objections, but had the following comments. The proposed variances are consistent with the established character of the surrounding neighborhood. There are numerous examples of lots containing two-story residential structures with frontages of less than the requested 16.1 meters in the area. Also, many residential structures on nearby corner lots do not comply with a 4.5-meter exterior side yard requirement, with some setbacks measuring less than 1 meter. Pedestrian impacts are expected to be minimal, as there is no sidewalk adjacent to the reduced side yard, and pedestrian activity on that side of Wilding Avenue is limited. A sidewalk is located on the opposite side of the street. As such, the requested variances are considered minor, appropriate for the development of the lands, and maintain the general intent and purposes of the zoning bylaw and official plan. Planning staff would also like to note that the proposed development will contribute to the city's affordable housing stock. PUC Distribution Electric had no concerns. PUC Water had no concerns. Public Works just wished to remind the applicant that parking is prohibited on city streets between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. from November 1st to May 1st. Some background. The applicant is proposing to construct a 2-story, 4-unit residential building on the subject property. The property is a corner lot, and the required frontage is defined as Douglas Street. Driveway access to 2 units will be from Douglas Street, and 2 units will be accessed via a driveway off Wilding Avenue. The applicant is seeking a 1.8-meter reduction to the lot frontage. They also seek a reduction to the exterior side yard setback abutting Wilding Avenue for the proposed building, and 2 parking spaces only. Locating the building closer to the easterly property line permits the west interior side yard to be of sufficient width to accommodate 2 of the 4 required parking spaces. Commenting staff have no objections to the request. No evidence has been presented to suggest that approval would create a negative impact. The proposed building location would enjoy a similar setback as the existing church directly across the street. It is recommended that any approval be conditional on any construction be substantially in accordance with the site plan dated 2026-0122 and filed with the application. And those are my submissions, Mr. Chair. And again, it's Curtis Birkenbosch that is representing the applicant.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Mr. Birkenbosch, would you like to come up? Do you have any further comment to add to Ms. Kelly's, if you could just stay at the podium there, sir. Do you have any further comment to add to Ms. Kelly's submissions?
No, that was perfect.
Okay, do we have any questions from committee members? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion.
Chair, I'll put forward the motion for the application to be accepted, along with the recommendations for the site plan.
Okay, can I have a seconder for that motion, please?
Second the motion.
Seconded by Frank Bruni. All in favor? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys can go if you like.
Mr. Grieco, we're moving on to your application, or the application that you need to leave. We won't. We note that Mr. Grieco has left the chambers at 2:08. We move on to application A226. This is an application from Huron Superior Catholic District School Board. And again, Curtis Birkenbosch, there you are, is agent for the applicant, and he's here with several members of the board. The subject property is Civic number 48 Orem Avenue. It is located on the north side of Orem Avenue, approximately 70 meters east of Reed Street intersection. It is designated residential in the official plan and is zoned R2 gentle density. Mr. Chair, I don't think we'll rehash the whole application. I will describe it for those that are online and in the gallery that weren't here the last meeting. But I think my report will summarize everything that happened. And
That's fine.
the following variances are requested from section 9.6.1 of bylaw 2005-150. Permits an elementary school use. The applicant seeks to include a furniture and supplies depot and repair shop for school materials to be carried on within the building as an accessory use. The purpose is to augment the use of the existing building and Huron Superior Catholic District School Board resources. A bit of background, this application was deferred from the previous hearing to permit the applicant's agent an opportunity to address a neighbor's comments. While the school is a permitted use in the bylaw, the storage of school furniture and supplies in a repair shop for school-related materials is not expressly defined. The applicant is requesting a variance to include this use with the understanding that there will be no outdoor storage on the property. Following is a summary of Sandra Linklater of 171 Elmwood Avenue comments on January 21st, 2026. Ms. Linklater opined that approval of this request will set a precedent. She stated that there would be no ability to control who moved into the building or who purchased the property if it were to be sold. She asked what is to stop an industrial use from moving in. Would the use of the building be increased with this request, or will it remain the same? She was concerned about the existing traffic situation, and most concerning is the fact that transports and other delivery and passenger vehicles are now using Elmwood Avenue regularly to get off of Great Northern Road. She believed that adding to the permitted scope of work would mean an increase in area traffic between Elmwood Avenue and Orme Avenue. She advised that this practice results in an increase in noise, dust, and other environmental issues. She was concerned about the impact adding this use would have to the property values in the area. She did not agree with the planner's position that the proposal would have less noise impact than when the school functioned as a school, and added that the sound of children laughing and playing is more pleasant to hear than what is proposed. She advised that the school board has done nothing to beautify the area. She was disturbed with the fact that a tall outside light located on the subject property shines directly into her home. She questioned why it was necessary and asked if it could be lowered. In response to Ms. Linklater's concerns, which I passed on to the board and the applicant's agent, the board and the agent submitted the following comments. We would like to provide further context and information regarding the minor variance application. The St. Pius X was closed as an elementary school in July of 2017. Since then, the school board has utilized the building to store excess furniture and supplies. The board recently decided to look into the possibility of moving the repair carpenter shop to this location, as well to consolidate locations. First concern was industrial use. This minor variance is limited to the proposed use of the school materials, and any other use, such as industrial, would not benefit from this variance if the building was sold. Traffic concern? We currently have cube vans, smaller cargo vans, and pickup trucks that frequent the site to pick up and deliver board materials, Catholic school board materials. There wouldn't be a noticeable difference in traffic as these vehicles already frequent the site to get supplies. Noise, dust, and environmental concern. The repairs that our staff complete do not generate a lot of noise and are contained to inside the building. There would be a dedicated workshop with proper ventilation inside the building where power tools would be used to cut materials, build cabinets, etc. This would not be an everyday occurrence either, as the majority of the repairs are done directly at the schools. The other repairs that may occur are primarily furniture repairs, which utilizes hand tools. Any noise generated at this building would be less than what it was when it operated as a school. Beautification of the area. The Huron-Superior Catholic District School Board maintains the site to an appropriate standard by ensuring the grass is cut on the entire site and providing snow removal, even though the entire site is not being used. There are trees on the property that are maintained, and repairs are completed in a timely fashion as required. The ministry does not provide dollars to maintain storage buildings, so any additional money spent at this location to beautify it would result in less dollars going to functioning schools with staff and students. Exterior light concern. There is an exterior light mounted on the east side of the former gym that is used to illuminate the parking lot and entrances on that side of the building. The mounting height is at this location to ensure the area is well lit to detract trespassers or illegal conduct on the property. We would be willing to investigate options to divert or shed the light to help with this concern without compromising the security aspect. As part of the application review, this proposal was circulated to the following internal departments and external agencies. Building Division had no objection. Conservation Authority had no concerns. Engineering and Construction had no concerns. Legal Department had no comment. Planning Division had no objections. Planning staff advised that the application passes the 4 tests of a minor variance described in Section 45 of the Ontario Planning Act. The proposed use of the subject property will be supporting the nature and supplementary to the Huron-Superior Catholic District School Board's current operations. Furthermore, there will be less impact on the surrounding area in terms of noise and traffic compared to when the site functioned as an elementary school. Planning staff have no objections to the proposed application. Public Utilities Electric and Public Utilities Water had no concerns. Staff recommendations: the use and uses requested in this application are defined and are limited to their extent as they are accessory to a school use only. For the benefit of those in attendance and those viewing electronically, the Ontario Land Tribunal has confirmed the longstanding principle that minor variance conditions must be reasonably related to the variances applied for. The committee, when attaching a condition, must provide evidence that a reasonable relationship exists between the request being considered and the condition. And Mr. Chair, those are my submissions.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly.
Curtis, ask if you have anything to add, anything new.
Mr. Birkenbosch, if you'd like to return. Would you like to add anything to what's been stated by Ms. Kelly?
No, thank you. That was comprehensive.
Thank you.
And then her.
Ms. Linklater, do you have any comments? Later. Ms. Linklater.
Yes.
Okay.
I think what I took away from the last meeting is what you're doing now is basically asking it to be legitimized for what you've been doing for the last number of years, which is operating not as a school. So it's like a fait accompli for me. You know, you're just basically putting your ducks in a row and you're saying, okay, we've been doing this all along. My concern was, is it going to increase? Is it going to increase in traffic? And from what I'm understanding, what you're saying is, no, it's not. Is that
Mr. Birkenbosch, is that
you're
somebody?
saying?
Sir, can we get your name and your title with the school board?
My name is Justin Pino, and I'm the Superintendent of Business for the Huron-Superior Catholic District School Board. Yes, functionally, it's been operating as we're requesting for the past years, and we just want to legitimize
Okay.
the function.
Okay. So I'm good with that, as long as it's not a significant increase in traffic, that all of a sudden, all this stuff is going to start coming in and we are going to get more traffic. Because funny as you said, when I did talk about the traffic increase in that area, and I can show you, a transport truck went down Elmwood Avenue just like a couple of days ago. So all I'm saying is, I am concerned about that, but I will live with what you're saying, which is you're just going to go along with what you're doing. It's not going to significantly increase in anything. And then I guess in closing, you talked about the light. Again, I took a picture of the light and how it reflects into my bedroom from all the way across on that parking. I think it would light up a stadium. So all I asked was, is there an alternative to look at the lighting there, maybe take it down? I get the security thing, and I'm all for security in that area. So if there was another way to look at it so that it is not like beaming like a headlight into my house, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, we're good.
Thank you, Ms. Linklater.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions from committee members for any of the people in the room?
No, just comments, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Rossi?
Mr. Pino, I believe that the volume of total traffic would probably be less, correct? As opposed to a school that's operating all the time with staff, traffic, buses, and so on.
Yes, that's correct.
I would believe that to be true without a study having, and just to address the light situation, if I could, and I don't know if the school board, it seems to be a singular light that's focusing correct? Perhaps the school board could put multiple lighting with less of a direct, sometimes one isolated light beaming, so to speak, is a problem, but if the more lights could be distributed with the lighting, that might also be a concern that could be solved.
I mean, it's not urgent.
It's a comment.
I've lived with it for 5 years. I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to, suggestion.
Ms. Kelly?
The board, as you know, in my comments that I read, have agreed that their willingness to look into what they can do about the light.
And I don't know that we can put any kind of condition.
No, we're not, no condition, just,
Yeah.
just a comment, so.
It is what it is. I mean, okay. Any other comments? I have a comment. I'm good with the application as it stands. I see no issues with it. And it's my opinion that this application should be accepted. So, and that being said, can I have a motion that this application be accepted, please?
Chair, I'll put forward the motion to accept the application,
Thank you. Seconded.
being a minor variance for the use, changing use.
Thank you.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bruni. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a good day, everybody. Okay. Yeah, where'd he go?
He went,
He went to- Maybe he wandered. There he is.
Oof, yeah.
okay, Mr. Wayne Greco has returned to the chambers, and we'll move to item 3, tab 3 on your agenda, which is an application A326, an application from Acheron Holdings Incorporated, and Mr. Ed Swiderski, the agent for them, is attending by Zoom, Mr. Chair. Acheron Holdings, Inc. is the owner of Lot 13, RCP H724, former Township of St. Mary's, municipally identified as Civic Number 523 Trunk Road. It is located on the southerly side of Trunk Road, approximately 160 meters west of the South Market Street intersection. It is designated commercial in the official plan and is zoned C4, general commercial, and is subject to site plan control. The following variances are requested. Specifically from section 13.5.2, which requires a rear yard of 10 meters, the applicant seeks to reduce the rear yard to 5 meters for an easterly rear portion of the proposed new structure only, as illustrated on the submitted site plan. Purpose is to facilitate the proposed construction of a new 1,598 square meter single-story commercial building located in such a manner so as to accommodate the irregular rear lot line. As part of the application review, this proposal was circulated to the following internal departments and external agencies for their review. Building Division had no objections. Conservation Authority had no objections. Fire Services and Legal Department had no comments. Planning Division had no objection. They did note that the requested minor variance seeks relief from the rear yard setback for only a portion of the building, representing approximately 40% of the rear wall. The remainder complies with the minimum rear yard setback requirement. This is due in part to the irregular shape of the rear lot line, which limits the site's developable area. It is important to note that the rear wall of the building has been angled to generally follow the irregular rear lot line in order to minimize the extent of the encroachment while providing for a functional layout. As such, the variance is considered minor. Similar reduced rear yard setbacks exist along this segment of Trunk Road, including several commercial buildings that abut residential properties at the rear. This proposed variance is therefore consistent with the established development pattern in the area. Any buffering required between residential and non-residential uses will be addressed through site plan control. No privacy issues are anticipated. At the time of this report, it is understood that there have been no objections from the abutting residential property to the south or rear. I will mention, Mr. Chair, that at least one of the owners of property to the south is in attendance. Planning staff are satisfied that this application meets the 4 tests of a minor variance and recommend its approval. PUC Distribution Inc. for electric service and Public Utilities for water service had no concerns. Mr. Chair, there does not to appear at this point to have been any objections to the request. At this time, there's no evidence that's been presented to suggest that approval would create a negative impact. And those are my submissions, Mr. Chair, and I'm not sure if the people in the gallery wish to make comment.
Okay, do we have an applicant here?
He's on Zoom.
He's on Zoom.
Ed.
Ed, do you have a last name?
Swiderski?
What is he? Okay. And you're here, you're from Turner Flesher?
No,
who
from
you-
the Otis
He's the
Developments.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
agent.
The agent? Okay. Thank you, sir. Do you have any comments
Thank
you'd
you.
like to add to? Yep. Do you have any comments you'd like to add to Michelle's?
No, I think it was illustrated properly.
Okay, thank you. To the gallery, are there any comments? I see there's some people. If we could have your name and your address, sir?
Yeah, Marty McIntyre, we own the building at the southwest corner behind.
Okay,
We're at 30 Silver Birch, the
Okay.
road in behind.
yeah,
Yeah, we were just, I got this in the mail and I thought, well, I'm going to go and attend it. And I was talking to Nick about, I just asked, not a concern, but Nick was telling me they got to put a fence at the back, and we push snow back there, and it looks like at the back of this proposed development, it's going to be a dead area. So we were looking if we could get some permission or something just to push our snow from our parking lot, because if they put a fence there, it would,
you'd have to, yeah.
It would-
That's something you'd have to do privately, not.
right, and
not-
that's what Nick said, but I just,
yeah.
you asked me if I had any comment.
Oh, yeah, okay, no, but more towards, any issues with this
Right, right,
application.
and I understand that. So Nick's, I've got Nick's information, so we're going to
Okay.
go through that process with him.
All right, perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any comments from committee members? Questions? No? Okay, can I have a motion, please? Okay, can I have a second for that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. McGregor. All in favor? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Is this me? Yeah, I gotta go. Mr. Rossi, if you'd like to be, come and fill my.
Note that Mr. Rossi has taken over chair position, and we'll move forward with the application. The application is application number B226. It's ARC Developments, Inc. Mr. Mark Lepore, solicitor, is here on behalf of his client. The subject property is municipally identified as Civic number 400 Second Line West. It is located on the north side of Second Line West, approximately 20.5 meters east of the Second Line West and Prentice Avenue intersection. The subject property is designated commercial in the official plan and is Zone C4 with a special provision, general commercial zone, special exception, and is subject to site plan control. The applicant is seeking the committee's consent to establish a services easement over the easterly portion of the subject property, having an area of 1,378.1 square meters, and illustrated as parts 1, 2, and 3 on 1R 14279 in favor of 551 Core Road. The easement is intended to facilitate the provision of electricity, water, storm, sewer, natural gas, communications, and the like to the rear property. Notice of public hearing was sent by personal mail to neighboring properties by posting a sign on site and posting on the city website. As part of the application review, this proposal was circulated to the following internal departments and external agencies for their review. Building Division had no objections. Conservation Authority had no concerns, however, had the following comments. Based on current regulated area mapping, the lands subject to the proposed consent application are not located within a regulated area as defined by Ontario Regulation 4124. That is to say, floodplain, erosion hazard, dynamic beach, wetland, or associated allowances. Conservation Authority has no objection to the proposed consent application to establish an easement for services and utility purposes from a Conservation Authority Act perspective. The subject property has been reviewed under the Clean Water Act 2006 and the approved Sault Ste. Marie Source Protection Plan. The lands are located within a vulnerable wellhead protection area, WPAA and WPAB, as delineated in the Sault Ste. Marie Region Source Protection Plan. The application seeks to establish an easement for services and utility purposes only in favor of the abutting property, municipally known as 551 Core Road. The establishment of the easement itself does not constitute a prescribed drinking water threat activity. The proposed easement, as described, does not introduce a new or increased risk to municipal drinking water sources. No prohibition policies apply to the establishment of an easement for services and utilities. No risk management plan is required for the consent application. From a source protection plan perspective, there is no objection to the proposed consent, provided that any future works, construction, or activities within the easement that involve prescribed drinking water threats, for example, handling or storage of fuel, chemicals, or sewage works, are reviewed separately and comply with the applicable source protection plan policies. And all future servicing works obtain any required approvals under applicable legislation. Engineering and construction had no concern. Fire services had no concerns. Legal department had no comment. PUC electric had no concerns, and public utilities water, no concerns with easement to accommodate the water main described in PUC waterworks agreement. Planning staff understand that the requested easement is intended to solely for servicing and utilities purposes, and as such has no objection to this approval. My comments, no objections have been filed, and there hasn't been any evidence submitted that might suggest that the intent of the easement would have a negative impact. Recommended conditions of any approval are payment of transfer review fee for each transfer presented, provide transfer for easement for certificate of official, provide draft copy of proposed reference plan for approval prior to registration, provide full-size white print of registered reference plan, provide digital copy of registered reference plan, provide current PIN abstract and PIN map, payment of taxes, undertaking to provide a registered copy of transfers. And those are my submissions, Mr. Chair. And again, Mr. Lepore is at the podium.
Thank you, Michelle. Mr. Lepore, do you have anything to add, any comments or clarification?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was described very well. I have no further comments unless there are any questions.
Thank you. Committee members, do we have any questions of Mr. Lepore or Michelle? No, so there's no one here to object or have any other comments, so I'm going to close it. Could I have a motion for the application, please?
Motion of forward to accept with the conditions.
Thank you, Member Rooney, seconded by?
Second that.
Thank you, Mr. McGregor. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, Mr. Lepore.
And you can ask Mr. Greco to come in, and Mr. Rossi will step down. Oh, good for you. The only business left then is just a reminder that our next meeting is March 4th. And Mr. Chair, motion to defer?
Adjourn or defer?
Adjourn, sorry.
Can I have a motion of adjournment, please?
Carol, before the motion. Adjournment.
Firsted, seconded by Mr. Greco. All in favor? Motion, our hearing is adjourned. Thank you. Good meeting.
Yeah.
Nice and quick.
No,